right, all right. Let's get some words in. Very cloudy out. Wish the sun would come out. Sun's out, guns out. Hopefully we'll get some chatting in today because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't feel like I don't feel like doing anything today at all. I'm gonna open this window a little bit though. Open the crack, but now the cat's like, "What the hell?" Let me be able to look out and smell things. Getting some writing in today. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me look at a map. Not that map, though. I hate that map. Where am I? I don't even know where I am. Good afternoon, Keith. How are you today? Peachy. You know what? What more can you ask? There's Charlie. What's up, Charlie? Nice to have you in. Getting some little bit of writing in this morning or this afternoon. Busy at work, so I may be in and out. All right. What do you do for a living, Charlie? Just curious. You don't have to give me specifics, what company you work for and all that. Just what line of work are you in? Based on your picture and you wearing a baseball cap, I'm going to say it's something manly. Oh, that's right. You're a zookeeper. That's manly enough. Fighting gorillas all the time and stuff. Smacking up a couple of llamas because they get at it. They get out of hand. Do any of the animals have a YouTube account? Can you sign into their YouTube account to watch some of my videos? Just have never had to fight a gorilla, but I have fought a large male kangaroo once. Did you win or lose? I bet you they kicked your butt. It seems like kangaroos will beat you up. They got a nice combination I hate you with. There's Chad Lutsky. Afternoon, folks, and you too, Armand. I'm not a folk. I'm a folk hero. I don't know. What's up, Chad? Charlie was just telling us about how he fights male kangaroos. You don't ever hit a female kangaroo. That's frowned upon. But a male, beat that thing up. Charlie's just walking around like you're giving me the side eye, kangaroo. He drops his gloves, and then the kangaroo picks up the gloves, puts the gloves on, and beats Charlie up. Chess says depends on how big her muscles are. Maybe she can take a punch. You don't know. You just don't know. I think that Charlie they call him into the office and they're like, "Why are you beating up the female kangaroos again in front of the? We got a busload of kids watching the What are you doing?" Charlie says females are pretty sweet, but males have to show their dominance, so they're more aggressive. That makes sense. That's like hanging out with Chad. He every now and then he just punches you in the face. Like, what'd you do that for? He's like showing my dominance. Like, all right, I get it. Chad says, sorry, just my default reflex. I get it. I just wish the first time you punched me in the face, you had told me about it first. Might have made it a little easier. Mm. No, thank you, spam risk. That's what you get when you steal my pen. Uh oh. I wonder if there was any pen stealing going on the weekend. Key says, "Was the pen one of those tri-colored inks?" I wish. No, it's a running joke for many years because the author who originally brought it up still uses the same lame joke over and over. So he had a pen. Sorry, gonna back of my ears feel weird. He had a pen, and another author borrowed the pen and never gave it back. So then it became this running joke about him stealing. He stole my pen. But like years and years at this convention, he would talk about the stolen pen, and he would make signs that said, "Have you seen my pen?" And he would plaster it all over the hotel. And it was just hysterical. He did have a joke when I first met him. Yeah, he found his brand. Yeah, it's called "I have no sense of humor, and I'm going to hang on one or two things." So the other one of his very funny jokes was first time he went came to a signing. Uh, one of my signings, he said something, and then I said something, and then he's like, "Oh, eat a bag of dicks." I'm like, "All right." And then the next time I saw him, he brought me a bag of gummy dicks. And then he brought up the bag of dicks thing every time I saw him. He would make sure to say that, and I was like, "Oh, enough." Or he had the poster for the movie 9 to 5, and he put Chuck in it instead of what's the name, Dabney Coleman, and then he shared that 1,000 times as well. I'm like, enough, dude." Ugh. Keith says, "I have a similar wooden spoon story at a company luncheon, so I can relate." Chat has two message retracted, it says. I've never seen that before. If you look in the dictionary what dead horse means, other than the glorious Texas metal band, it tells the story of the stolen band. Yes, because that boy is beating a dead horse. Did you eat the gummies? No. I did not trust the gummies. I gave them to my son. I'm like, "Here, do you like gummies?" They weren't like drug gummies. They were just like gummy bear thing, but I don't like gummies, are gross. I gave them to my son. I'm like, it says there's no drugs, which I think at the time he would have been like, I would rather they were, but he ate them. He took them to work with him, and he would. My son's a tattoo artiste, and he said he would eat them when while he was talking to people, and he would have like this little gummy penis hanging out of his mouth, freak people out. But yeah, every year this dude talks about this stupid pen. And then the one year, the guy who stole his pens went up to his table before the opening ceremonies and took all of his pens off his table, and then called him up. And we were at that point, we're like, this has been like 3 and 4 and 5 years of this enough to give him all of his pens back. And then everybody laughed, and then he was very excited because he was the center of attention. Ugh. Chet says, this is the sad world we live in. When talking about gummies, you have to clarify if you're talking about drugs or the candy loved by children around the world. I know, right? I don't like either. I do not like gummies, drugged or otherwise. Again, it's a texture taste thing for me. Just not a fan. I'm mostly anything covered in chocolate I like. So can't go by me. We're getting there though. You know what I'm saying? We're getting there. He says, remind me to beat my wife when I get home. She bought these cookies at Aldi's called the kitchen sink and only gave me one with my lunch. Now I'm joking for how do you give somebody one? That woman does not like you. You've done something to her that she's like, I'm gonna give him one. I'm gonna give him a tease. You're gonna get home and she'll be like, yeah, I ate all the rest of them. And Aldi's is very famous for not having that product ever again. My wife went to Aldi's one time about 2 years ago, and she bought me these shrimp, and they were so freaking good in like whatever the glaze was or whatever. And I was like, these are amazing. Next time you go, get me these. And I'd eaten them like 2 days after she got them, and she went back and they were gone. There wasn't even a spot for them. Never seen it again. He says, you're supposed to tell me when I'm doing something stupid before I do. Keith, I don't have time or the energy to just tell you about all the dumb things that you and other people have done in their lives. After YouTube Live, I got to go to the library. There's a couple of books that came in. I got to go pick up. I was going to go this morning. I was like, you know what? It's 9:30. All I got to do is throw my shoes on, jump in the car, drive over. 10 o'clock, the library opens. Pick up my 2 books. On the way back, stop at McDonald's. Big breakfast with hot cakes. Everybody's happy. And then I was like, I don't want to leave. I can't leave the house. I just don't have it in me today. Just yeah, all these gives you blue balls, tease you with a new fifth, then leave. Yeah, I'm like, it's just so random the stuff they bring in. Especially the frozen items. because they're literally, I see them like a section, it's gone, and then I just literally watch them take the tag off and put a brand new tag and throw something complete. Oh, we're all out of this spicy Cajun shrimp or whatever. Okay, you know what we're putting here now? We're gonna put meatballs. What? I want the shrimp back. It wasn't spicy Cajun shrimp. I don't know what it was. It was just delicious. She's like, I'll try to find another one. I'm like, all right, not gonna be the same. Keith has been waiting for them to have the pork belly again, right? And the problem with they might never have the pork belly again, ever. It's just so random. It's like you got to go into all these. You got to buy something, cook it that night, and then be back the next morning when they open to buy whatever they have left. Because if you wait 2 days, that product is gone. Freaking Germans. No offense to the Germans on this channel. I'm not German. Yeah, pork belly Germans. The German people hate pork bellies, though. That's the problem. There's that girl walking her dog again, dressed appropriately. 71 degrees, mostly cloudy. What's it down there, Keith? Like 80, probably? 112? 74? Chad said no offense taken. Good, that's good. I didn't want to start a war in the channel. $75 there. Yeah, that's probably about right. I'm way more north than you. Barely I'm 4 degrees more north than you. Currently 38 here, not too shabby. No, you know, 38 is probably feels really nice out. I'd rather it was 38 here than 71. I'll trade you 71 is near perfect. It is really nice. I just every now and then I want it to be a little colder, although it is a little bit of a breeze. And now that my window is open more, it feels really good on my sexy naked legs. Keith said, "Nutty Train, come move to Florida. All the cool kids are doing it. All of them." All three of the cool kids moved down here. I don't include us in that list, just so you know. All the 80-year-old kids, yeah. All the people from the Northeast, they're all here. Come on. I have way too many tabs open, and then everything freezes, and I'm like, "Why is everything freezing?" Oh, because I have too many tabs open. Did I just get another? Oh, good, another one of my books came in. So I got 3 out of 5 books. All right, I'll go pick up. I'm definitely will go pick up my book. See, I would have been mad if I picked them up this at 10 o'clock, and then at noon they're like, "Yeah, here's another one came in." He says with their pineapple ties and doorknob doohickeys. Chess says, I watch Seinfeld. I know what goes on in Florida with all them old folks. Speaking of pens. Yeah, that only happens in the villages is right. My my wife's best friend's husband does he works for a company that does lawn like sprinkler systems. Couldn't think. And one of his areas is all the areas up in the villages, and at the golf he does all the golf courses, and the one up there, and he's up there, and he's like, oh, I've never he plays golf, and he's like, I've never seen so many people with different colored golf balls, like ridiculous amounts of colors, and it's all whatever, if you're on the links with a pink one, that means you want to have sex, but you're married, but she doesn't care. If it's a blue one, it's like all the different colors and stuff. I'm like, holy crap. Like that's insane. All right, so I have 3 of the books came in. The Fun City Heist one is in transit, and the other one is still waiting, but it's still on order. So yeah, I definitely got to go get these books today. Chad says, WTH, is nothing sacred? Keith says, not in the village. STD Center. Yeah, it has like the worst STDs of 60 and older or something, whatever. I don't know. They said some record over there. They all ride around on golf carts. There's an author, Mac Fortner, that I'm good friends with. He's an older gentleman. I met him at the NINC conference, and we hung out in Apalachicola a few years ago. And him and his wife just moved there, and they love it. But I'm like, there's a lot of that. He's like, yeah, you gotta, yeah, you just if you're not into that, you just gotta let people know. That is insane. Frank Ellis said Friday night rights on a Tuesday afternoon. Yep. Chester, we're talking about pervert golf balls and cuck stuff, Frank. Also, I'm easy like a Sunday morning and cool sounding like Apalachicola. They play a different kind of pickleball, Keith says. He's like, they do book signings all the time. There's a lot of writers up there. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to go over there. I don't even own a golf cart. That was one of the first things when they bought their house there, is they immediately the realtor was me like, here's where you buy your golf cart, because we don't drive our cars around. We all use golf carts. Frank just ignored it, Chuck. Chad says, Frank, thank you for the Skullface Boy review. It made me smile, then made me chuckle because you said the Who Done It was only about poop and didn't mention that it's actually a murder mystery. They give you 3 stars. Frank says, how do you live in Florida and not own a golf? I mean, I should. The amount of kids driving around here with golf carts in this subdivision is ridiculous. I'm like, why do you have a golf cart? We don't live out in the middle of nowhere. Like my mother-in-law, she lives out on 3 acres, like with a horse farm behind her. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she should have a golf cart. Kind of glad she doesn't, though. Jez has made me wonder if you finished the book. Frank says, I reviewed Skullface Boy like 8 years ago. Chet says, no, sorry, I meant Neon Owl. 14 years ago, he did that one. Come on now. That does make sense, Frank. You see the new set of scams? They are sending an article about being scammed on Amazon, and it's full of links that that try to take your stuff. I'm like, man, these people are getting crafty. It's like I kind of didn't care about who murdered poor Aunt Mildred. She's dead, but oh, it's alive. Got to deal with this. Yeah, exactly. You know what? If you didn't want him to focus on that, don't put it in the book. You knew it was going to pique his interest. He says, I saw a certain group of writers are now selling certificate logos to verify human created books. Wait, what a world we're in, right? But really, anybody can buy the logo and slap it on their book, like AI. Chad says, I wrote something beautiful and heartfelt, and Frank just saw scat. Which is Frank? Oh, Mr. Frank. I don't want to write any of this. I think you have let Chad down, to be honest with you. No, you haven't. I'm most appreciative just busting like Aldi. Yeah. Like Aldi. Like Aldi and their pork belly. Their pork belly scam. So I just had the character say, "What's the good word?" as they're sitting down to meet, and they wanted to change it to, "What's a good word?" What's a good word? Uh, Marzipan. That isn't a good word though. I'm going to be honest with you. Marzipan. I could have done better. Frank says Chaz is as disappointed me as a certain writer is at the lack of female written book purchases at a con they definitely weren't talking about, even though they referenced it by name. Yeah, even though they didn't even go to the convention, they weren't even there. But based on a handful of pictures they saw. Stay in your lane, mind your own business, ruin some more marriages, and write your dopey books. Dopey books. That all went over my head. Charlie says, and Frank says, it's for the best. Yeah. You know, don't even worry about it. He says, "Oh my God, the amount of divorce in the horror writing community, it's never been willing to sacrifice Lisa. I'll stay a hobbyist." Yeah. Tell them to help support you just bought all of Autumn Christian's books. Huh. I get it. I don't think there's a high level of divorce in horror. Yeah, I don't either. A lot of, except for that one couple, the best friend stole the husband. Otherwise, Next page, Nick's in it? Yes, next page. You missed it by about 5 minutes, but I'll still count it. Next page, Nick's in next page. What's up, Nick? How's it going? What's the weather up there? It is, I believe it is 38 degrees in Chad's part of the world. 73 here now. It was 75 in Orlando area. Yeah, Nick at noon. Yeah, he's actually in before 1 p.m. our time. That's insane. '66 in North Mississippi. Like the song in North Mississippi, born and raised. 38 here. Overcast, so no blood moon. What is that, tonight? Or was that last night? Here's what I know. Unless the blood moon is in my living room, I don't care. Unless I can see it from sitting on my couch, I don't care. 36 in Dirty Jersey, nice. Chad. Just if you have a blood moon in your living room, you've got problems, right? It probably would block the television, which would really annoy me. I'm like, Shelly, can you move the blood moon? I'm trying to watch Desert Law. So is it like last night and I missed it, or is it tonight and I'm gonna miss it? I have to get out the dirty jokes before the lady shows up. Yeah. And Soviet Russian blood moon moves you. 5 a.m. Who the heck is up at 5 a.m.? I'm sure every moron on Facebook is showing their videos of here's a tiny little dot. See the little tiny dot? It's red. It's a blood moon. Wow. And the people who care are the idiots who went out and looked at it themselves. Oh, I also have a video of this reddish colored moon. Look. The ancient Mayans thought we were all going to be killed with a blood moon. I hear you Jersey guys can't even pump your own gas. What's up with that? You know what? That's called privilege right there. Wants to get out of your car at 38 degrees and pump your own gas. When you could have some guy do it. Frank says, which Kiss song does the theme to Desert Law sound like? You know, I haven't thought about it, but I am going to, when I watch an episode tonight, I will let you know. I hear the Jersey boys only sing doo-wop songs. I guess Gene Simmons played SeaWorld or something. His band played some amusement park or something. Chaz says, Tim Meyer told me about that. Couldn't believe it. It's like going to a restaurant and the waiter spoon feeds you. You know what? That would be pretty cool too. Oregon also used to was the only other state that you couldn't pump your own gas in. But I think most of Oregon now, if I'm not mistaken, somebody told me you can now pump your own gas. Chaz says, Misfits are Jersey boys who sing doo up. Yep, pretty much. I remember the first time we went up to Jersey, and my wife went to get out of the car and get. I'm like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "I'm getting gas." I'm like, "No, you don't get gas." She's like, "I don't know what you're even talking about." Then the guy came up, scared the heck out of her. How much? How much? She's like, fill it. Like you got to give him. You got to give him your card now. She's like, I don't know what's going on. Like we don't pump our own gas. What are we, uncivilized? If I'm out there pumping my gas, I can't figure out what's my White Castle order going to be. Frank, are you gonna give Crystal Lake another shot with a short story? Yeah, they got a new thing came up. Supposedly this week they're gonna pay me my $50 for winning and what do you call it? And picking stories. Speaking of Crystal Lake stories, does Gunnell still write or did he get chased? No, he's still there. He's still in their good graces. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he didn't send one for my thing, but I think he sent to the last one. What's the theme? I'm kind of focused on the new book now. I think it's like the guy who won, who had a very good story. So I mean, it doesn't really matter how good the story was. He got the most votes. It's like found footage horror. I think is the basic theme. If I read it, I'm like, I'm not going to write a story. I'm already in. I already got my 4 cents a word, 3 cents a word, whatever it is, for the best story, and $50 for doing that. And then I guess I'm in there the next anthology of those. Last year, I saw a group of people with their torches and pitchforks going after him. One of them was a popular author. Can't remember who. Maybe it was BK. Oh, so new. Oh, so new and fresh ideas there. Yes, very new, very fresh. Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I remember a couple people took that man to task for saying dumb things. I've read a bunch of his books, like 3-4 of his books. He was on Armcast many times. Good writer. It's very everything is the. I want to make sure I word this correctly. All of his characters have the same lifestyle that he has. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying it gets after you've read 3 or 4 books, you're like, these are just the same characters over and over. Tries says, I'm not prioritizing it, but if I think of something for the next prompt, I'll try to knock something out. Yeah, give it a shot. Chad says, I've read one of his books. Chad says, what are you working on, Frank? Obviously not a short story for them. Nick says, I missed which author you were talking about having the same characters. Geezer Butler? Yes. He's mentioned in the Chad mentions him. I'm not saying his name out loud. It's like saying Candyman. Candyman, Candyman. Yeah, you don't want to say that 3 times. Frank says Geezer. Yeah. Okay. Is there a problem with that author? I've shared a table of contents with him a couple of times, but never interacted. He said something. I don't remember what he said. He said something. He said like words. I believe they were words, and people are like, "What words are you? What words?" I don't know. He had some weird take on something, but I don't remember. Nick says, "Did you catch up on last week's Danny Trejo show? Because I have a question." Frank says, "No." Yes, I believe I did. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. What was the bird? Something from a few hundred years ago found maybe with a metal detector. Again, I flip channels, so don't know besides the teaser before the commercials. The gold bars, the Civil War gold bars. That what you're referring to? Civil War gold bars from the Civil. Oh, sorry. Why are you yelling? I'm not yelling. You're. Yeah, that was what it was. They found Civil War gold bars. This man and this and his son out in the woods somewhere, and the FBI they reported to the FBI. They found a cave, and the FBI basically took all of it. No, no dynamite. They just got some couple of backhoes, and then they cleared it out, and then they told them, "Oh, we're gonna stop for the day. We'll come back tomorrow morning." And when they came back in the morning, the FBI had taken everything because FBI. F to the B to the I. Okay. Good enough. Thinks the government would cheat innocent people is something I know. It's weird, right? That was a different time, though. That was, I don't know, 10 years ago. The government's not cheating. This guy. Actually, I have no idea. They probably are. I mean, they're probably literally cheating me right now. I played a lot of Minecraft yesterday afternoon. Just wasn't feeling it. Also did some reading. Mm. I'm reading a last night. I was like, I want to read something on my Kindle. I haven't read something on my Kindle for a while. So some horror book, Return to Innsmouth. Plymouth, Innsmouth. However the hell you people say it. Keith knows, he's from that area. He's from Innsmouth. He's from the New England area. Read any good biographies lately? No, I don't believe I've read any lately. The only nonfiction I've read is that Elise Meyer lady. I read her book last month. It was very good. She is she's on TikTok and all those play YouTube. She's got like 1 million followers. If you look up Elise Meyer Taco Bell, that's a good story. But I think that was pretty much it. Now I have probably 5 or 6 biographies or autobiographies on my pile of print books, but I haven't really gotten to anything yet. I'm like, you know what? You said it right with a muff, right? Like Plymouth, Innsmouth, not Innsmouth. If there's a party in your mouth, I'm coming. That was from that was the name of the album by a band called Adam, ADAM, Adam Bomb, from New York, New Jersey area from back in the day. Frank, you happen to remember Adam Bomb? Probably not. I wonder if that's still available. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't Adam Bomb, although I think he was in the band. This is a thing of bad album covers. Metal band from Long Island, Snatch. If the party's in your mouth, we're coming. And the comment is, why are they dressed like a David Lee Roth cover band that only plays the Eat 'em and Smile album? Because that's exactly what they're all in bright colors and yellows and bandanas, animal skin bandanas. I don't even remember hearing the music on this, but I'm sure it is just god awful, right? It's got to be. It just has to be bad. No, not Adam and the Ants. Adam Bomb. He was supposed to be huge. He was on that U68 on Friday nights. His band was never there. He was always like, "This is Adam Bomb, and you're listening to heavy metal, whatever." He kind of looked like Jake E. Lee. Play the song. Let me see if I recognize it. Is this like the Thunder Mother thing over again? No, I mean, yeah, kind of, because I thought it was Adam Bomb, but it's really Snatch from Long Island. Long Island. So it's a Kiss Animalized cover band. Yeah, they literally, if you look up that album cover, it's amazing. It's amazing. They're the one dude. It looks like his leather pants. He just has random colored animal print bandanas tied around both legs all the way down. It's awesome. Nick says, I picked up the Cameron Crowe autobiography from the library since you mentioned nonfiction. Have you read it yet? Have you read it yet? Sorry. I should read I should read something nonfiction this month. January and February, I picked like 4 books or whatever, and I was like, I'm gonna read these books, but then I'm like, you know what? I'm not doing that for March. I'm just gonna read whatever the heck I want to read and do a review of it. Because I hate, I'm like, I gotta, when you automatically, like, these are the 4 books I have to read. And then automatically I'm just like, I just don't want to read any of these books now because you're forcing me. Nick says, nope, finishing a Mickey Spillane bio first. Which one is that? Do you know the name of that Mickey Spillane bio? Because I've read one and I think there's another 7 of them out there. Is that the one by I can't think of his name. Max something or other. Frank says, I'm still reeling from following the Staten Island stud, not following any more weird local DJs you mentioned anymore. Spillane, king of fiction. I'm the king of fiction. There ain't none better. Yeah, Max Allen Collins. All right, yeah, I've read that one. Very good, very good. Is Staten Island Stud still posting? Are you still is he still doing his studly things? The fact that the guy is in his got to be in his 60s now and he's still calling himself the Staten Island Stud, I think is amazing. Do studs go out to pasture? Booth. Anyway, look up the band Snatch. Because those guys are awesome. So the Snatch album is a Snatch Records is the label. It's just a 12-inch EP. 1985, heavy metal. It's only 4 songs. Wanna Hear It, The Way She Walks, Starry Eyes, and One Shot. This is fascinating. So here's the credits for the. It was bass player is Mark Carmona, drums Sandy Fox, Sandy with an I, Fox with two X's. Guitars Kelly Sweet, vocals Banshee Screams, Petey. All songs written by Kelly Sweet, Mark Carmona, Petey Zapina, and Sandy Fox. Those are all very 1985 hair band song titles, right? The song titles and their names. There's no reviews of it though. You can sell a copy from $60 to $203 on Discogs. 109 people have it, 142 want it. Average rating is 4.09 out of 5, 11 ratings. It was last sold on December 7th, 2025. The low is somebody sold it for $17. The average is $40, and the high was $174.99. And I guess they have videos probably on YouTube, but it's just pictures of them playing. That is amazing. Can't believe I remembered those guys. I think if I'd seen them play out live somewhere, I would have remembered them, right? Not to be confused with the Snatch original film soundtrack either. All right. In 1989, did they rebrand themselves as American Snatch or Snatch Angels? Snatch Angels actually a really good. that is a good name. Snatch Angel. I just checked. I did not see them on Spotify, but I guarantee you can find them on YouTube. Classic. Friends, I'm going to start a Kick Tracy cover band called Snatch Angel. that would work. I would imagine at some point Snatch played with that band Cleavage from New York that did the 15 Get You 20 song. Frank says, what was your hair metal band stage name in high school? I don't think I actually had a different name. I think the couple times that we played in Dieter Shapinski's garage once, and we played at Michael's Pizza in Middletown. And I just said, I'm Mondo, this is Madman, this is Kenny, that's Pete. That was it. Lorraine says, hi everyone, rough morning with my son, so don't mind me. I'll just go lick my wounds, sort of speak in the corner and absorb this somewhat normal vibe you have going on. This is a normal vibe to Lorraine. Poor, poor woman. Lorraine, hopefully your day gets better. Hopefully things calm down a bit for you. Somewhat normal, yeah. I also had a bad morning, Lorraine. I mean, probably worse than all of your mornings combined. I was going to go to the library and pick up my books, and I did not. Ergo, I did not get to stop at McDonald's and get me a big breakfast with hotcakes. So, right there, you start the day off really bad. Really bad. All right, Chad, the lady is in the chat now, so that everybody knows what that means. No more of the sexual innuendos or any of the other talking about that band we were just talking about from Long Island. So stop all of that. Who here likes Greek food? Greek food. Frank says, Lorraine, need me to take him out back and give him a talking to. I didn't get a big arch. Lorraine says, I'm afraid to go back and watch it. Lorraine, do yourself a favor. Watch it 3 times on mute. Charlie says, I do as far as I know. I mute, yeah, definitely mute. Charlie thinks he does. Because I get these I get like 5 or 6 different emails every day from like all these different recipe things. I'm always trying to find something that I'm like, hey, hey, why don't we make this? Or I'm going to make this like tonight. I'm on my own. So I'm like, I don't want to just make the same old crap all the time. I don't like feta though. And a lot of these I'm looking at, they usually they theme them. So today is Greek food, but all of it is made with feta. Like this is a toasted sesame seed crust adds nutty crunch to creamy feta cheese slices in this classic Greek appetizer. Feta stuffed marinated olives. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know if again, I might love Greek food, and I'm sure I've had Greek food, but I'm sure I was like, does it have feta in it? I am not a fan, and that to Nick, that's probably hurtful because he's from the land of cheese up there, but is feta cheese really cheese? Nick says new McDonald's burger, big arch, not just another silly joke. I don't like anything new. Lorraine says, what? No feta? No, I don't like the taste of it. I don't like it. Frank says, so many garbage AI recipes recently, too. Like the ones like, you know what? You want this to be spicy? Put a little bit of kerosene in it. Charlie loves feta. My wife also likes feta. I don't. Chess says, feta doesn't have a strong enough taste to not like it. I don't like it. It's more than enough that I can taste it, and I don't like the taste. Frank says, I like me some feta. Lorraine says they might sneak that feta in. And if they do that, and they don't tell me specifically there's feta in it, and I don't taste it, then I'm fine. I've probably had a lot of Greek food. There was a really good Greek restaurant in Atlanta when I used to go with my wife all the time. We would always go there. and we would just order a bunch of random stuff. But sometimes she would just order a bunch of things, and then we would try it all. And if it looked like feta, I didn't eat it. But maybe there was feta cooked into it, or I don't know. It's a mental thing with me, as like always. Nick says, "How dare you? The only bad cheese is blue." Yeah, I don't like blue cheese either. I'm not a huge fan of many, like, Swiss cheese. That's my go-to. That's my jam. You can substitute blue cheese for feta. I wouldn't do either of those. Nick says, because Frank likes it. Charlie says, my wife doesn't like feta either. Nick says, my cousin Palky from Meepos would be offended. I had no idea that was your cousin. Frank says, spicy feta. I mean, I do like me some sharp cheddar. Make it as sharp as you can. The sharpest cheddar in all the land. My wife made turkey tenderloin last night. It had some kind of glaze on it. It was freaking delicious. But she's also like, you know what I'm going to make? I'm going to make carrots. Like, I like carrots. And she made white rice and black-eyed peas. So black and white. And it was delicious, but there's a lot of white rice left because she always overdoes it. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I could do something with that. If I get a thing, like I just got like another one because I get like 12 of these a day. Crispy orange beef, but I don't think I have nothing thawed. So maybe like tomorrow I could be like, hey, let's make this with this rice. Do you like a cave ripened guida? Generally, anything that's ripened in a cave, I'm not a fan of. Now, if you say left in a cave and then they found it years later, maybe. But otherwise, no. So what's this new? We got a new Dorito flavor. Jack Links and Doritos launched new nacho cheese beef jerky. New beef jerky and meat sticks. Doritos nacho cheese. Seems interesting, right? I'm not a huge beef jerky fan, though. And it's not like I hate it. It's just that I don't really eat it. Oh, you look a cave discovered Gouda. Yeah. Like this was found in a cave. Oh, was it left there on purpose, like ripened there? No. Somebody was in the cave and they fell down a crevasse, a deep crevasse, and they left their Gouda just sitting there. And then 100 years later, we found it. I'm like, you know what? Get me some crackers. Frank says, I like beef jerky, but that's sounding more like Slim Jims. Yeah, it's the they look thin like Slim Jims. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I've ever had a Slim Jim in my life. It is getting very cloudy. It's supposed to be sunny. Nick says Slim Jim buffet bar coming to Mondogon. We could get this new Dorito Ranch one in there. We'd have several different Slim Jims. I'm sure by now Slim Jim makes 47 different flavors. There's a jerky store, not the jerk store. They call they're out of you. The jerky store in St. Augustine at the little outlet thing there, and they have like I don't know 400 million different jerky. Oh, you want gator jerky? You want crocodile jerky? You want lamb jerky? You want herky jerky? Literally anything. It's like, oh, here, this is old tennis shoe jerky. Delicious. Nick says, Slim Jim Buffet coming to my car. Frank says, I like Slim Jims, but I try to not eat them often and not actual Slim Jim brand. Oh, you don't like their brand? Is this they're off-putting? Chad says, LOL, they're called and they're out of you. That's right, some Costanza humor. Chad gets it. I even have that on my wife bought the for our refrigerator. And it says the jerk store called they're out of you. And you know where we bought that coincidentally? St. Augustine. It all comes back to St. Augustine. I told my wife, I was like, you know what? I want to do one of these days. I want to do like a 5-hour. I want to sit here for 5 hours. Several bathroom breaks, obviously. I want to sit here for 5 hours and just listen to myself talk. If you guys are in, you're in. But then I'm like, I can't sit here for 5 hours. That would drive me nuts. But you know what, though? Watching that back 3 times, that's 15 more hours. So here my thing. I broke 8 last night, overnight. I broke 8,000 subscribers. Thank you, everybody. And also, I'm at exactly 2,500 hours now. So 1,500 hours, and I can be monetized. So I want to thank everybody for continuing to watch my videos and watching them on a loop. Chad's just trying to cram as much Seinfeld in today as I can. You know who you get along with? Chuck. Man, Chuck loved talking Seinfeld. AK Plus. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you, Lorraine. Appreciate it. I'm thinking at the rate I'm going by next month, I should have my hours in, and I should hopefully hit 10,000 subscribers too. Keith says, I've started helping AP Fuchs as well, so I didn't do as much of you. Forget that guy. What's his name? Is it just AP Fuchs? Also, Chad, do you want me to watch yours, or does it even matter? Because I don't want to start watching them and then you're not going to do anything with it for a year, and then all those hours that I watched fall off. But I'm pretty much down to I watched everything of mine that I can 3 times. So I want to help somebody else out. I want to just have it run all night. The only I looked up AP Fuchs, but I keep finding X-ray things. Realm of Heroes and Monsters. Oh, he's really full of himself. There he is. So he's got 727 subscribers. He did a video 2 months ago. I'm going to hit a like on that. All right, so I just commented on his latest video. Chess is not sure of the status of Creepy Couch yet, but I am inspired to do some live writing again. I was thinking of doing what I did before, where I streamed in the morning before you. Well, then do that. So I'm going to hold you Chad, when you tell me, hey, start watching this specific channel on YouTube, then I will watch all of them. And obviously, if you're going to be on in the morning, then let me know and I will jump on as well and hang out with you. Nick said, last night I had you and JC talking about stuff and drinking due to this playlist thing. Oh, all the Armand and JC watch movies thing. I wish we were still doing that, but he's a jerk. Lorraine says, looks like Paranormal Romance on Amazon. He says, I'll do the same. Yeah. But everybody watch my stuff. I'm really close now. We're helping each other out. We're helping each other out. Lorraine says, not leaving the fight, Armin. I think it's good that we are all helping each other out, though. So that's why I want to get there. Obviously, Lorraine, I'm watching all of your videos. I did a bunch of them again last night. Just set them up to run overnight. I figure, you know what? I'll run through them, and then there you go. I can't put this pretty face on camera. No, you know what? The amount of women. I mean, Lisa would kill herself if so many women come out of the woodwork and try for that. I get it. You're protecting your wife, who only gave you one damn cookie today. Maybe you should. Maybe you just show her that, you know what, there's other women out there that would give you 2 of those Aldi's cookies. Lorraine says, many thanks. I'm a big smile here. Hopefully you will get monetized at some point. Well, it would be nice. I think once your book comes out, and the way you're posting videos, I think it's only going to build. Chad says, I can't get over how many subs you got so quickly. I'm one of these people who get excited when I see my friends doing well. So it's been fun to watch. Yeah, it's I don't want to overthink it. My wife, the other day, we were talking about it, and she's like, stop overthinking it. She's like, you're doing something that is people like, obviously. You're doing something that people are following along. And so keep doing what you're doing. Don't overthink it. Just keep doing the videos. I think the Wednesday and Sunday videos is what's really, really helping me right now. You guys are all definitely helping me get my hours. A lot of these hours are because of you guys. So I greatly appreciate that. All kidding aside. Keith says, oh my God, you reminded me. I just got the damn cookie out of my mind. No, that cookie will have a rent space in your head for the rest of your life. In fact, when you got home tonight, I would take whatever cookies are left and I would eat all of them right in front of her. How do you like that? Frank says, y'all are going to cut into my international food review videos and Area 51 exploration videos. Those I would like to see. Lauren says, I'm looking more for the community than to be monetized. I love the conversation with people. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm in this for the money. Chad, I think it has a lot to do with putting content up every day. It's keeping you relevant in the algos. He says, I might do that. You know what? That's a video you need to film for YouTube. Frank says, I hate watch this channel. Nice. I appreciate that. As long as you're watching, I don't care. I don't care what your feelings are. Yeah, definitely definitely Monday through Friday, 2-hour videos now instead of 1 hour, 3 days a week. I'm doing 10 hours a week. And then if I do anything on a Sunday. So I think it's definitely helping. And then all the other videos, and also my coffee video every morning. I get a couple hundred people who are watching those, and I'm definitely getting comments and people coming in that way as well. Frank says, everything you say infuriates me. I love you, Frank. Love you to death. Did I infuriate you? Nick says, Lorraine, you even love this kind of conversations. You must have had a terrible morning. Lorraine is the only tolerable part of this broadcast. I'm not going to lie to you, Frank. I think you hit the nail right on the head. The only reason I do this is because I want the lady to come in, as Chad likes to refer to her. I like how we've had other women come in here, but Chad doesn't refer to any of them as a lady. I'm going to let Amanda Ward know that. Chad says, your channel is even boosting my book sales a tiny bit with Skullface Boy and Neon Owl. See? Exactly. We're all buying each other's books. We're all watching each other's videos. The Mondo Bump. Yeah. One of the greatest dances ever. Or it could be Frank's review for all those people out there looking for mystery pooper book. Yeah, that could be it too. You don't know. A lot. Frank has some pull. Frank has what's known as in writing parlance as cachet. Lorraine says, and by here I mean my home. Frank says, I haven't sold one copy of Exploding Bears despite Armand always talking about it. That's weird. Maybe I should stop talking about Exploding Bears. I'm not going to stop talking about it. It's a book that I actually read. Me and Frank got I passed on to Frank an AI about our book, our book Shocker. And like, you know, what a I can't even describe it. It felt like, wow, this sounds like we wrote a real book and we didn't just have fun writing a book. Like this touches on the political climate of today. This is, life changing. I mean, on and on and on. I was like, wow, I didn't realize we wrote that book. Keith said, Chad, I bought Neon Owl because of Armand's mentioning. I bought Skullface Boy because you are a fine writer. Nice. That's very nice, Keith. Frank, I just received Death Gets a Book. Nick says, every time I look for it, it comes up as Exploding Beers. Chad says, careful about talking about Shocker. We've got a lady in here. It's about Vinny the Shocker Schicchetti. Yeah, we shouldn't talk about that book, though. The Shocker Trilogy. Now, there's some good old American novel writing right there. Yeah. Arrived at the same time as Chad's Neon Owl. Chad says, thanks, Keith. Frank said, Lorraine got a book. There you go. And when Lorraine's book comes out on May the 4th be with you, I'm sure we will all step up and buy a copy. Lorraine says, I can step away for a few minutes if needed, Chad, so you can all discuss. No, Lorraine, don't go anywhere. Frank says, don't read the Shocker Trilogy, Lorraine. I forbid it. Yeah, don't read that, is right. Keith says, he'll be buying Lorraine's book, as will I. I'm going to buy a print copy, and then I'm going to go to Athens, Georgia, throw it over her fence while she's sitting out there. She's going to sign it, throw it back over the fence for me. No, actually, his real name is Frand. We just call him Frank because Frand is just a weird name. Why would you name your kid Frand? Keith says, it's going to take a hot minute to read 91,000 words, though. I believe in you. You know what will make it easier, Keith? Eating more than one of those cookies. Any book that comes out on May the 4th be with you has to be brilliant. Exactly. And Lorraine says, thanks, guys. That means you got to hang out with us at least till May 5th, Lorraine. Then you can stop talking to all of us. You know, that's your prerogative, like Bobby Brown. But until then, you got to hang in so we can all buy it. You're like, hey, thanks for buying it. Now I don't have to talk to any of you anymore. Lorraine says, no, you guys have to tolerate me longer than that. Frank says, my aunt, who used to own a rundown motel in LA, almost bought it until someone moved on the sidewalk. Chad says, speaking of raunchy writing, John Bowden, God bless him, wrote a horrible story for an antho we're both in. I hate that story and told him so. He laughs about it often. Chad says, happens more than you think, Frank. I have no idea what I'm going to have for dinner now. So this is what I could do. Here's what I could do. Hear me out. I'll find out what time the library is open. Library. Okay. And then if it's open, can't be open too late though. Here's the problem. I have night blindness. So I have to be home by 6 o'clock. Frank says, I tried to figure out who was doing all the mysterious, but after 3 weeks of dead leaves, I realized someone killed my aunt, so I went back home. I never found out who took it. What did it say, Tuesday? Oh, they're open until 9 o'clock. But I don't want to drive. I definitely don't want to drive on that side of town, if you know what I'm saying, at nighttime. So what I might do is I might leave here at, say, 5 p.m. 5 p.m., drive to the library. It's like 20 minutes. Pick up my 3 books. Don't dilly-dally. Get back in the car, start driving home, and then hit a drive-through on the way home. And that'll be my dinner tonight. That sounds like a plan. Chester, do your eyes turn into pumpkins after 6 p.m.? I can't see it. I can't see a thing at night. It's all everything is just street lights and everything's blurry. When I go out with my wife, most of the time I'm like looking out the side window because I get a headache. All the lights and everything. Oh, it's brutal. Frank says night blindness sounds like something you made up so you don't have to drive at night. I wish that was the case. It started bothering me when I was still doing the radio show. When I was driving home from Flagler Beach at midnight, and I was like, I really can't see. This is not good. Night blindness was also my progressive metal band from the early 90s. Air fry fruit pies for lunch. I already had lunch, Nick. We're way past that. I had pierogies in the air fryer, and I dipped my pierogies in salsa, which I'm sure a lot of people are mad at. Chess says, Frank, you should have checked your local necrophilic medical examiner for more clues. Yeah. Charlie says, I have to go clean out the giraffe barn, so I'll see you all later. Chad says, giraffe barn, is that code for something? Yeah. You know what that means, Chad. There's a lady in the house. Fruit pies are the best dessert. Man, my wife bought me those 3 fruit pies from the gas station. And I ate all 3 of them, but they're just delicious. Like if you said, hey, you want Girl Scout cookies or you want those Hostess apple fruit, I'm going to go apple fruit pie every time. Nick says, wait, you drove me and Tom back to the house at night after Shelley's birthday party. Yeah, and I almost killed us. Frank says, long neck. If I'm somewhere that I'm familiar with, then I'm all right. But if there's a lot of traffic and stuff, like driving back, there wasn't a lot of cars on the road that night. So I knew I would be all right. I just didn't ever feel safe. Giraffe coat. Charlie, thanks for hanging out with us. Have fun with the giraffes. I would have gone with the guy who got stuck on the lawn if I knew about this. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to excite you or anything. The guy got stuck on the lawn. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't get stuck on the lawn. All good. All good. You should be expecting another email probably in about 2 weeks, I'm going to guess, for MondoCon. Ryan says, bye, Charlie. I'll be on the lookout for your next video. Frank says, giraffes have the world's longest tongue, except for Gene Simmons. Collectively. Yeah, if you put all of their tongues together, you can't find a longer tongue than that. My fingers are so slow on the keys, he's probably already gone. Yeah, I mean, those giraffes, those cages aren't going to wait for no man. He's got to go clean the cage out. Don't listen to the beginning of everything that you missed, Lorraine, although there is a Charlie talking about that he had to fight a male kangaroo once. He said the female kangaroos are really nice and sweet. It's the males they want to show you up. They want to fight you. For real, yeah, he works in a zoo. So he's literally, it's not an innuendo or a euphemism. He's literally going to clean out the giraffe cages. No, he doesn't have a that'd be better. Chad Hoey, if Chad Hoey comes back in, his wife owns a ton of goats. There's always new goats he's talking about. Yeah, he works in Mississippi, at a zoo in Mississippi. And again, he had to fight a male kangaroo once. I fought to get a pair of kangaroo sneakers on my feet back in '86. Kangaroo sneakers, yeah, those are great. Goats are cool. Chad says, you also missed me reprimanding Frank for his review that has the opposite of spoilers in it. Or were they just ruse? I forgot. That was so long ago. Were they ruse? Who is this? Who is this couple? Kangaroos. Ruse is really big. They have a website. They're still around. They're like they're puddle jumpers. $50 for these. They have Ruse Tasters, $45. Do they still make Ruse shoes? Kangaroos, ROOS and capitalized, is an American brand of sneaker originally produced from 1979 through the 80s with a later revival that continues into the present. Is it a good brand? It's truly global lifestyle brand. Is kangaroo leather illegal in the U.S.? It's legal in most of the U.S., but banned in California. With the ongoing efforts to create a nationwide federal ban due to ethical concerns over the commercial slaughter of kangaroos. Like that book, Kangaroo Slaughter. The rest of Mississippi, I couldn't place the accent, and I'm generally good deciphering Southern accents. Yeah, he doesn't have much of an accent. Chess says, drink. Armand looking out the window, whispering, "Who's this?" you'd be drunk pretty quickly. Frank said, Chad reprimanded me for the wrong book. We should have a drinking game here. So many great triggers, right? Oh, Armand just said something about an author that he doesn't want to mention the name. Everybody take a shot. Are Uggs made of kangaroo leather? They're typically made of twin-faced sheepskin with fleece on the inside, a tanned outer surface, and a synthetic sole. So no. Nike stopped using kangaroo leather due to a combination of intense pressure from animal rights groups, highlighting the cruelty involved in the commercial harvesting process, including legislative threats. I had no idea we were making shoes out of kangaroo. I had no clue. Drink. Army just mentioned the accused for no reason. Oh, there's always a reason, Chad. Everybody drink. We got to pull Chad out of that author's butt that he loves so much that I'm not going to remember the name. Remember the kangaroos? I got to say it like that. Kangaroo shoes with the zipper pocket. I don't remember them. Drink. Armin starts Googling things for general edification. What's funny is I do this all day. I'm sitting here, I'm doing emails, I'm writing and everything, and all of a sudden I'm like, do they still make Ruse sneakers? And I look it up. My Google is like, like everybody's like, oh, don't, if the FBI is looking at this, if the FBI is looking at mine, they're like, what is this guy even talking about? What is he trying to look up at all? Frank says, Chad, the zipper was the whole reason you bought kangaroos. That, and I believe they were all Velcro. What was all Velcro? They do have several Velcro ones. I believe these Ruse men's runaway lifestyle ones also come in Velcro. I don't think I ever had these sneakers though. But maybe I did. I don't know. Chad says, drink. If I want to listen to a band that sounds like Exodus, I'll just listen to Exodus. Exactly. Lorraine says, I have my shot glass ready, but it's got lemonade in it. Did you make the lemonade? Is it freshly squeezed Georgia lemonade? I do love me some lemonade. We had people over Saturday night, a couple over, and my wife made a big pitcher of her sweet tea. And I was like, you got to make sweet tea. She's like, I don't think either of them drink sweet tea. And I said, it's not for them, it's for me. And then I take some of the little lemon squeeze thing that looks like a lemon. I squeeze some lemon. She does not like lemon in her sweet tea. I do. Frank says, Armin's search history, Adam Bomb, and then kangaroos, and then feta cheese recipes, and then why do I hate feta cheese with a passion? Lorraine says, Florida lemons fresh squeezed in a Georgia kitchen. That sounds delicious. Chad says, Frank, that one made me LOL for real. I also LOL'd. My wife put her lemon tree out, but we haven't planted it yet. She got it for Christmas from her friend, but it's just been too cold. And I'm like, just wait until it gets nicer. I mean, we got like another week of bad weather. I mean, it's 73 degrees now. I think it'll be like 50 overnight. Why was Puma's shoe banned? They were banned. Other shoes banned are the Asics Nova Blast 5, Puma Mag Max Nitro, and more. All these shoes are thicker than the 40 millimeter stack height maximum allowed by World Athletic Shoe Regulations, which Iron Man follows. I don't know if Iron Man, like Iron Man the comic book, Iron Man the Sabbath song, or the movie. The World Triathlon, so you can't use Pumas. Is it okay for Christians to wear Nike? Yes, Christians can wear Nike, as it's a personal choice based on conscience, with most Christians viewing the brand name as modern commerce rather than pagan worship. though some avoid it due to concerns about labor practices or personal conviction, citing biblical principles of stewardship and care for others as guidance. There are no strict biblical rules against Nike, and many see the Nike name, which is Greek for victory, in a Christian context, while others focus on the what's in your heart aspect, similar to how Paul discussed eating food sacrificed to idols. I had no idea that there were some Christians that would not wear Nike shoes. That's crazy. Are they not? Are the Christians not listening to Slayer? Frank says, I don't think I ever wore Pumas. Just I have an old pair of Puma suedes. Being a Christian, is it okay to wear them? Apparently, that's your own thing. What is the 333 rule for clothes? Yeah, I've gone down this rabbit hole now. The 333 rule for clothes is a minimalist styling method where you select 3 tops, 3 bottoms, and 3 pairs of shoes to create a mini capsule wardrobe, allowing you to easily mix and match these 9 items to make numerous outfits, up to 27 combinations, reducing decision fatigue and overpacking, especially for travel. Mine is 400 black t-shirts, 1 pair of jorts, 3 pairs of shorts, and I wear my black sneakers. That's it. Frank says, now British Knights. I owned at least 1 pair because it was cool to say, check out my BKs in junior high. Did you wear your BKs with your parachute pants? Lorraine says, that's a bit too much devil chasing to me to focus on names of shoes. Chad says, I remember that, Frank, those and Reeboks. Nick says, what stream I'm watching? Who's this guy? Fashion tips, shaking. Yeah, fashion. You're looking at fashion right here. Look, red hat. The devils, I'm sure, are red. So it's matching. It's fashion. Fashionista. Lorraine says, maybe I shouldn't shop in Athens anymore with their logic. Yeah. Chad says, I'll take useless things on Google regarding fashion gatekeeping for $100. I gave it to you. My wife loves watching food videos, and she got into that where there's the Christians making food videos, and she didn't realize at first, Southern Baptist cooking, something like that is what the videos. And they call it they don't call them what do you call it? Deviled eggs. Because that's unchristian. They call them angeled eggs. That's just stupid. Frank says, I do the 1-1-1 method. 1 black shirt, 1 blue jeans, 1 hole per underwear. You know what? Perfect. You saw that red shirt, Frank? Angeled eggs. That's way too far, right? We're not calling them deviled eggs because Satan created the eggs. People are ridiculous. I like how we went from kangaroos, we get all the way down to just all kinds of random stuff. Is it okay to wear the same clothes for 3 days? Yes. Some items like jeans, jackets, and sweaters can be safely worn multiple times since they don't cling directly to the skin. But for underwear, socks, and workout clothes, washing after every use is a must. They trap sweat and bacteria that can lead to odor or irritation. Remember that, Nick. Does Mark Zuckerberg wear the same shirt every day? Not because he lacks style, but because he's autistic. It's part of a routine he created to reduce decision fatigue. Yep, he literally stocked his closet with the same gray t-shirt and jeans so he wouldn't have to waste brain power on choosing what to wear every morning. That's not a bad idea. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's not a bad idea at all. I mean, I put on a different black T-shirt every day. I just grab a random T-shirt. Nick says angels have their cake, devils get the eggs. Exactly. Like, do Satanists say, "Oh, well, we don't say angel food cake. We say devil food cake." Chaz says, "You never know what random word will trigger a rabbit hole in here." I know. Someone had to write that hygiene tidbit in an article. Yes. Lorenz says nothing but rabbit holes here, Chad. Frank says deviling is a process, not the devil. Yeah, silly billies. He's waiting for a music rabbit hole. Chad says decision fatigue. That's a term I've never heard of that explains a lot wrong with me. There's a bunch of you can buy a bunch of kangaroos on eBay too. I like it just by doing this one thing about these sneakers. It was all this other stuff. Here's the mailman. Probably junk mail, right? Junk mail. Lots of. He looked very confused when he opened the mailbox. I'm guessing I haven't gotten the mail in a couple of days, and so there's a mail already in there. There is a website that you can buy and sell kangaroos. You can literally go on and I guess like a poor man's Jordan, right? That seems insane. Frank says, I have a few red shirts, not sure if one of them is the red shirt. It's that form fitting one you have. You look very, very sexy in it. Frank says, I enjoy that in your mind I only own clothes in one of every color. Chad says decision fatigue is probably why Henry Rollins has a closet full of plain black t-shirts, but then he walks out to his massive walls of 20K final decisions. Yeah. It's like I can't be bothered with picking a record and picking a shirt today. Lorraine says, do people use junk mail now to line things with instead of newspapers now that newspapers almost don't exist? That is an excellent question. I'm going to look that up. Oh, good. Here's the landscaper. Do people use junk mail now to line things instead of newspaper? Yes. People commonly use junk mail to line surfaces and containers, often replacing traditional newspaper for tasks like lining pet cages, trash cans, and covering surfaces during crafting or painting. Due to the decline in physical newspaper subscriptions, junk mail catalogs and flyers have become a readily available alternative for upcycling around the home. Why is junk mail not illegal? Because federal law 18 USC 1725 gives USPS exclusive access to your mailbox, a mailbox monopoly that prevents you from legally refusing any mail they choose to deliver. Right, it says pet cages is the ink safe. Probably not. Well, but you had ink on the newspapers too. I think as long as the pet isn't reading the newspaper, I think you're good. Frank says, now when I walk past people's houses, I always assume someone is sitting in the front room watching me walk by, judging me and disgusted by the fact that I even exist in their world. That probably sums it up. Imagine how many trees we'd save without junk mail. At least 7. At least 7 trees. Let's see what else we Basically, everybody's like, "What? How can I get rid of a junk mail?" I'm like, "You can't. You basically you can't." Lorraine says, "Where did that bit of paranoia come from, Frank? Because I judge him." Chess says, "Write a story about that walk and those feelings, Frank." Yeah, Frank, let it out. Let it out, and then when you're done with it, we're all gonna hug you. This person says, "Turn junk mail into shredded paper mulch for your garden." This rabbit hole is not nearly as fun because it's still talking about junk mail. Everybody complaining about junk mail. It's got to work though, right? If we're getting so much of it, somebody's making money off of this. Lorraine says bestseller. Geez, Lorraine, I don't know where I get that from. Bestseller, whatever. Potato Demi Lovato. This person says, "I have a no junk mail on my mailbox, but somebody keeps putting stuff in there." Well, you know what? You can't do that. The United States Postal Service doesn't want it, and they're getting paid to put it in there. So leave it alone. Yeah, my stomach's making crazy noises. There's a lot of people complaining, "Oh, we get so much junk mail. All the land things are all getting filled up with junk mail. Oh, the world is. We should shoot all the junk mail into space." Imagine that, and then some alien gets your address and opens up a credit card under your name. Because I think aliens can do that. I don't like. I'm going to be honest. I don't like this rabbit hole so far. We're still talking about junk mail. I had no idea so many people were posting about this. For instance, my mother used to shred newspaper for kitty litter. Ick. My dad had a shredder, but he just loved shredding stuff. He would shred all of it and then just put it in his garbage can. But I don't see anything here that would work for what we're doing. I think he's gonna knock. I think he's gonna knock. What are you doing? All right, says maybe China will want it like they take some of our recycling. Yeah, they can learn even more about us, right? And then they would all open up uh, credit cards in our names. Yeah, very highbrow habits. Time to put on some music and do some dishes. Talk at you guys tomorrow. Oh, yeah, we're over the 2 hour mark. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We'll get back to this tomorrow. They're starting up anyway, so they'll be drowning me out soon. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me. I will see everybody tomorrow, Wednesday at noon Eastern Standard Time, and keep watching all of these videos. I appreciate it. I appreciate every one of you getting me closer and closer every day. See you later, Lorraine. Have a better afternoon.